Hey, what's up? I'm David Lamar, singer, songwriter out of Cleveland, Ohio, and on my spare time, I drive for Uber. So, first of all, ignore the shirt. I know it's really, really, really small. It shrunk in the washing machine, and but I couldn't do this video naked. So anyway, I don't have on pants. TMI. But so about this video, I just want to make a really quick video because I drive for Uber in my spare time, and a lot of people ask me the same questions over and over and over. So wanted to make a video about it, unless anybody else who wanted to drive for Uber had the same questions, concerns. So here it is. Let's just jump right into it. Top 10 things that you may not have known about Uber and its drivers. So number one, do you get a discount for when you need to drive an Uber? The answer to that question is simply no. You do get discounts like for getting an oil change or getting work done on your car, things like that. I mean, those are like simple discounts that you can probably find on Groupon, to be perfectly honest. So the answer to that is no, you don't get a discount for using an Uber because you're an Uber driver. Next question is, can your car be more than 10 years old? That's a good question because I could have sworn the last time I actually got picked up in an Uber, the guy had like a 2000 Sebring. Now, maybe I'm wrong, but that's 17 years ago, so I don't actually know the answer to that question. Can you rent a car and can you rent a phone? Yes. I don't know about the phone, but I do know you can rent a car. I think in some markets you can rent a phone. If you don't have a phone that will allow you to use for Uber, then you can rent one. So I've heard that, I've seen that online, and I've heard about it. And as far as renting a car, Uber will rent you a car. And I also know that they have like some sort of stuff worked out with dealerships to where they'll let you buy a car through them or something like that. So, I mean, there's options available out there if you don't have a car. So the answer to that question, I guess I would say yes. Now, I don't think you can just go to a rental agency and rent a car and then drive for Uber in it. Are tips included with fares? This is a huge one because every single time I'm driving for Uber, somebody says, hey, I know the tips are already included. Or they'll be like, okay, thanks for the ride. Your tips are already included. Or they'll be like, I know you guys aren't supposed to receive tips, and it's like, no, all that information is false. Tips are not included with the fare. So to answer that question, no. If you want to give a tip, you got to give your driver a tip with cash. Otherwise, they just don't get a tip. Next question. Do you drive for Lyft as well? I do not drive for Lyft. My brother, he does both. A couple of my cousins, they do both. Some of them prefer Lyft over Uber. Personally, I prefer Uber. Partially because of the fact that Lyft won't accept me for whatever reason. That's just simply the truth. Do you give 5 stars to everybody? That's a good question because the answer to that is yes. I typically give everybody a 5-star rating despite of how they act in my vehicle. For me, I just do it because it's just easier than thinking about a rating. I mean, I don't even think twice about it, but I mean, unless you're like really, really, really just rude and obnoxious and just disgusting, then I'll give you a 1-star rating. But otherwise, I pretty much give everybody a 5-star rating. Does your rating mean anything? I don't know. I do know that if you drop below a 4.6 on average, then Uber can take you off of the Uber app completely. And you get this, like, you can never drive for Uber again. So I do know that. My rating is currently like at a 4.9 or something like that. So I like to keep it pretty high. So that's all I know. Sorry, I kind of screwed past my questions. Do you pick up drivers? Oh, wait. Do you pick up riders based off of their rating? So personally, yes, I do. If your rating is below like a 4.7, I honestly will ignore the trip. That's just me personally because I'm trying to think in my head, like, I know a lot of Uber drivers don't rate badly. So almost all the Uber drivers that I know just give you 5 stars, just regardless of how you act. So if it's low, then that means you are just a really horrible person. Not person, but just your rides have not been very pleasant. In my personal experience, I don't know. Maybe you travel to New York a lot and the people in New York are kind of mean. But me personally, I won't accept a ride under 4.7. Some of these questions I just don't even want to answer. Have you ever picked up a prostitute? I think so. So this one time in particular, I picked up this girl. She was a black girl. She might have been in her 30s, early 30s. She wasn't, you know, the most classy dress. She had like a really short skirt. And she sat in my back seat, and you know, her boobs were everywhere. Like, she was in my back seat and her boobs were in my face. So they were just like out completely 100%. And so I thought that was a little odd, because people just don't dress like that on a typical basis when they're like going to dinner, maybe going out to the club or something. But she was going to dinner because I was taking her to some restaurant. So when we got to the restaurant, this old white guy, he might have been late 80s, early 90s, he came to meet her at the car. And so I thought that was interesting. And the first thing he did when she stepped out is bury her head in her boobs and grabbed her butt. And he was like, wow, you're absolutely gorgeous. You're so gorgeous. And she was like, oh, thank you. So it was kind of like as if it was like an arranged thing where they didn't necessarily have met before. It was kind of weird. But anyway, I think she was a prostitute. Do you know where you're going when you pick somebody up? No. And a lot of people tend to think that we do. When you pick somebody up in Uber, the only thing that I know is your rating and where you are. That's it. I don't even know your name. So when you get in my Uber car, I'm like, are you Brian? And if you're not Brian, but you just feel like saying yes, then I just take you wherever Brian was going. It's so ridiculous. That's the one thing I hate about Uber. And so that's kind of weird. And so I don't know where you're going. So let's just say it's midnight. I've been driving for Uber all day and I'm really tired. I want to go home, but I'm going to accept one last ride. I pick somebody up from the Cleveland airport and they say, hey, they get in my Uber and I'm thinking, okay, where are they going? I have no idea. And come to find out they want me to take them to Pennsylvania. Well, I'm screwed because I had no idea they were going that far. Now, maybe it's another Uber driver who wouldn't have mind taking them that far, but I'm SOL. So that's all I have. Just a couple of questions that I wanted to answer really quick. Hop on here and let you guys know. If you had the same questions, those are my personal experiences. Those are my answers just from my own personal experiences driving with Uber. So hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you got a little bit of information out of it. And if you want to join Uber, then feel free to use my link. It's right below. Or when you use my link, you do get a bonus. Depending on what state you're in, you get a bonus. Depending on what country you're in, you get a bonus. So go ahead and use my link to sign up. And hey, enjoy it.
I was searching for someone to love me, someone that set me free. But I was blinded by my own assumptions of what was meant to be. I was foolish cause I kept on thinking something must be wrong with me. But I was in a prison, locked up by my own emotions, searching, couldn't find the key. I was hurting cause I didn't love me, hurting cause I couldn't see.